Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Polygon Matic. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. Also, if you want to support Ukraine financially and its refugees, feel free to go over to the official websites I linked down below. You can donate directly to the funds. I'm going to keep mentioning this at the very beginning of every single video until the war is over, guys. So yeah, let's get on with the TA. So jumping into the daily chart here, as you can see, we do have two Fibonacci retracements set up. So the first one is the larger one. You have this swing high over here, and you have this swing low that we printed in June. And as you can see right now, you ran into the 0.5, and from there you're pulling back down to the 0.382, and you're hovering around that, that support zone. I'm just going to remove the price tags so it's not that distracting. So as you can see, we're hovering around the 0.382 area, which is at 75 cents. Now, I do think there is a potential that we might come back all the way down here to 64 cents. Okay, because that is the high that we printed here in June before we pulled back down. So we haven't really retested this as support. So I would imagine that is a good level for us to buy into Polygon Matic. Obviously, we can dump lower, but you know, if we go lower, just buy more. I'm just here to give you more support levels for you to take a look at and potentially see where you want to buy into the project. Now, if we take a look at the 1.618 target here, it's going to be at $11.50 for Polygon Matic. Now, this will be my bull market cycle top price for Polygon. Obviously, that doesn't guarantee that we're going to get there, but usually you do get to the 1.618 after you break through this swing high. And the swing high here is at $2.91. We printed that high in December of 2021. From there, we had this slope into obscurity, and we bottomed out here in June. And since then, we've been in a beautiful uptrend. Right now, we're more in a sideways channel here, as you can see, a sideways channel going left and right, and well, not left and right, but up and down. And you're gonna break down at some point, especially if Bitcoin decides it wants to go below $18,000. So be on the lookout for that. And let's zoom in a little bit more here. As you can see, we do have another Fibonacci retracement here. Now, for this one, we still have the same low that we printed in June. However, the high is over here at the end of June, and the 1.618 target here was at $96.50. And we beautifully landed or retraced to that zone here 3 times. From there, we saw a pullback to the 1.272 and another move below it. So right now, we are below the 1.272. So that is becoming our resistance for now. And I do think we might see a move all the way back down here to the swing high, which is the high that we printed at the end of June at 63 cents. I would even buy in slightly higher at 64 cents just to be safe. Now, if we saw a full-on capitulation here and Polygon Matic was to dump, I would drop in a Fib retracement here. Okay, and actually, let's just do it a bit of a different way. Let's get a Fibonacci retracement, and let's take this low, and let's take this low, okay? And let's see what our targets are going to be to the downside. Okay, so I just dropped in another Fib retracement. I'm going to remove the larger one so that it's not too distracting. And as you can see on the right here, you have the Fib levels with the extension levels to the downside. So you have the 1.618, the 1.414, and the 1.272 over here. So we're going to be targeting those if we lose this low that we printed in June. And honestly, I don't think we're going to be losing that low. For me, Polygon Matic and Cosmos have bottomed out. And obviously, there is a potential that we might come all the way down here. Obviously, that if Bitcoin drops to $14,000, by all means, we can dump down to 30 cents on Polygon. But for now, if Bitcoin is not going to be going any lower than $17,500, I would safely say that this is our low. So you can see that the golden ratio here is sitting at 50 cents for Polygon Matic, And that would be a beautiful entry point in my opinion. And we can actually get rid of that fib retracement as well. So as you can see, the golden ratio here at 50 cents, 50.5 cents, never have round numbers in your buy limit orders. 50.5 cents is a good zone for us to retest before heading for a higher high. Okay, above you have the 0.5 at 58 cents. I would target that as well. So if we manage to come back down into this 50 to 58 cents range, I will be dollar cost averaging into Polygon Matic. For now, I'm not doing that because we do have other altcoins I want to be taking a look at and I want to be dollar cost averaging into. But like I said, if we come back to these prices, I'm definitely going to buy more Polygon Matic. Now, jumping into the daily RSI here, as you can see, we did have a little fake out below the support of this ascending support trend line that we've had for quite a while. And as you can see, we dipped slightly below, went above, and right now you could look for a bounce of support. But in case of a capitulation, I would look for 31.8 here. As you can see, we did retest this level multiple times. And usually once you get below that level, you tend to go into the oversold, which is duh, because oversold is literally like 1.5 points lower. But for those of you who don't know, if you're below the index of 30, then you are considered oversold, okay? And if you're above the index of 70 over here, then you're considered overbought. So usually this is a good point for me to start dollar cost averaging, and Polygon Matic is slowly but surely getting suppressed and squeezed down to that area. And I do think we can get there if we see a capitulation for Bitcoin. Like I said, it all is, all is depending on Bitcoin. If we see a pullback, altcoins are going to pull back. So just be ready for both outcomes. Have some cash on the side, and if you want to swing trade, have your sell orders ready and set to go. If we're talking about resistance levels, then we're going to jump into the Binance website and talk about those. Switching over to the weekly chart on the Binance website, as you can see, this diagonal resistance trend line that we've had since January of this year, we've been rejected from this level one time here in January, once again in April, once again in August, and once again in September. So at some point, you're going to have to break through that resistance. And once you do that, you're going to see a strong move to the upside, because usually once you break through multi-month diagonal resistance trend lines, you typically see a very strong move to the upside, especially on a larger time frame like the weekly chart here. Obviously, your key support level here is going to be at 38 cents. Now, this is a very important resistance level that we had back in March of last year, and we haven't retested that level until June this year. As you can see, you broke through this resistance over here in April of last year. And then you came back down here in June, you back tested it as support, and now you can potentially break through this in November, and you can go on into the bull market, getting closer to the 2024 Bitcoin halving. Now, also something to keep in mind is that we don't want to be losing this low, guys. This is a very important low for us, so always be wary of this. If you start losing the low, then what you do is you drop in a fib retracement. Okay, you can even do that right now, and you see what sort of targets you can have to the downside, because crypto can take an ugly turn within days. So you just want to be ready with your 1.618, 1.272, and the 1.414 levels here, your extension levels, in case you lose this low. But like I said, this is a perfect back test of support of a previous resistance. Polygon is doing everything really it needs to do right now. And even if we come back down to 38 cents here to retest this low, I'm not going to say that that's going to be a negative thing, because a double bottom pattern is always great, right? If you come back down here, you bounce from there, you have a nice double bottom pattern here with a target somewhere to, I would think, around about $1.50. So yeah, watch out for this resistance to be broken. Right now, you're getting suppressed by the 20 EMA on the weekly chart, which is expected. I always tell you to target the 20 EMA if you're looking for mid-term swing trades. And if you took profit on the 20 weekly at 90 cents, you now have the ability to buy back here at 75 cents. And I do think we're potentially going to be coming back down to 50 cents as well. And I'm expecting a move to the upside, getting closer to November, because that was the case for the past 2 years, although that was in a bull market. However, I'm still expecting a bullish move to the upside, not as bullish as the past 2 years, obviously, because we are in a bear market right now, but still nonetheless expecting some sort of a breakthrough. And then in December, January, we can have the last capitulation, and then we can start climbing towards 2024 and creating higher highs on your favorite altcoins and Bitcoin. Also jumping into the weekly RSI here, as you can see, for now, we can draw a trend line here. Okay, and we're adhering to this trend line. If we see a capitulation, this would be something that you would need to hold. Also, taking a look at this high here, getting another trend line, just like that. And as you can see, you find yourself in a falling wedge. So you are still not very near the apex of this pattern. So potentially you still could drop all the way down here and start coming back up and recovering into November and break out and have that back test of support in February, January maybe, and then into spring of 2023 you start recovering into the bull market towards 2024. That would be a very bullish scenario. Obviously, it's probably not going to play out the exact same way I just described, but this is what I'm expecting for the crypto markets in general. So thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comments section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on my Patreon. You get a lot of exclusive content over there. So thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.